All right, let's start with our standing and our little breathing and activation to get us moving and grooving here. Okay, wiggle your feet a little bit, shake it out. Let's bring our feet underneath our hips, hands on our belly or our ribs. Maybe roll your shoulders out a little bit, soften your knees, and then close your mouth. Let's breathe in through the nose. When you get to the top of that inhale, try to really relax that exhale, make it nice and passive, just let it come out. 2 more times, light, slow, and deep, inhaling through the nose. Just preparing ourselves for this little workout here, this nice little mobility workout, and then we're gonna exhale through the nose. Good, one more time. Inhaling in, sending that breath all the way down to the lowest part of your lungs. We're trying to get our full capacity of those lungs. And let it go. Good, arms out, let's start to pat the belly. Wake up that digestive system, or maybe you ate maybe, you're after lunch right now. We're just gonna kind of get things moving there. And go ahead, rub the belly. Bend the knees, hands come up and down, shoulders shrug, knees are bending, like we're bouncing on a little trampoline here. Also feel that nice movement in the feet and the ankles. See if you can get your whole foot to really imprint into the ground, your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. Yeah, so we get full planting of the foot. Good, let that go. Let's take the left arm out. Start to pat and come down to the hands. We'll give those hands a little extra love. And let's go top of the hand, up to the neck and the shoulder. Take the thumb up and bring it down to the thumb line. We'll bring it back and take it underneath to the pinky line. And then bring it down the side of the body. Maybe a little side bend will feel good there. And then take it across the chest. Right arm goes out. Bring it down, give me a little clap, and let's go top of the hand, up to the neck and the shoulders, thumb goes up, coming down to the thumb line, and then we're gonna bring it back and send it underneath to the pinky line. And then bring it down the side of the body, maybe a little side stretch there, and then bring it across the chest. Let's rub the chest and the solar plexus, and then the belly. Little hinge forward, let's pat that sacrum, and then the glutes. We are gonna make some friends with our glutes today. We're gonna be doing a little bit more hip action, and then we'll do some nice hip stretching at the end too. All right, let's take it down the back of the legs, and then up the inside, down the outside, and up the inside, and then down the front. And up the inside, turning ribs to the left, to the right, left, right, rub the belly. Awesome. Hands on your hips. Let's take big circles. Going all the way around. And we'll go the other way. I just heard something crack a little bit there, a little snap, crackle, pop in my hips. Good. Bring it around. Awesome. Close your fist and open them wide. Get some blood flow into those hands. Good. And then let's send the arms up. We'll take 3 of these. Big stretch to the sky. Flat back. So we're bowing from the hips. The hips bow first, then the spine follows. And we're stretching through those hamstrings, and then we can come all the way down. Feel free to bend your knees. Let's let gravity pull our head down for a second, getting really long in your neck. Let's roll it up now. Bend your knees, scoop the belly, roll it up. Shoulders roll back and down. A little more fluid. Reach, bow from the hips. Lengthen forward, come on down. Shake it out, whatever feels good here. Feel free to explore anytime you're doing this work here. Move your body around. Find what feels good there. One more time. Good. And then we're gonna roll it up. Awesome. Okay, let's roll those shoulders out a little bit. Just get them moving, and then we're gonna bring our hands down onto our chair. Keep your knees bent. Let's take a couple of our rhomboid push-ups just to get into those shoulders for a second. So that's when we keep our arms nice and straight, and we're gonna allow our chest to lower and lift. Shoulder blades come closer together, and then spread apart. So when you lift your heart up, the back of your shoulder blades will wrap around your rib cage. And then not only that, we want to get those shoulders away from the ears. So think about them sliding down and spreading. Right? So let's now hold the top of that rhomboid push-up. Nice long neck. Shoulder blades are also sinking down, so we've got all this space. And this is going to come in handy later as well, so that's why I want to get really focused on it here. Step your feet wide and back, so maybe about shoulder distance apart. And we're gonna do a spinal wave with our spine. So nod your chin, lift under your ribs, and start to round your spine like a candy cane. And then you're gonna send it back, lower your heels, go ahead and lower your chest into this modified downward dog position here. And just get that nice little stretch through the back of the legs for a moment. Nice, now I'm just gonna add on a little twist. So I'm gonna take my right hand and reach it to the outside of my left ankle and give my ribs a little twist. Come back through center, left hand to the outside of the left ankle, ribs twist. Come back through center. And now let's go back into that spinal wave. So we'll peel our heels up, we'll round through the spine, and we'll come back out into our long plank. Let's do that a few more times. So round, send it back, lower the heels. Right hand reaches to the left ankle, little twist. Left hand reaches to the right ankle, little twist. Come back through center, spinal wave to come out of it. Good, and we're just trying to articulate through that spine, really lift through the belly. Get some nice movement there. Good, to the left hand to the right ankle. Good, let's do this one more set. So this will be our last set, nice and fluid. Taking it back, rotate and reach, rotate and reach. Hold it here. Let's stretch those hamstrings a little bit more. I want you to soften your right knee, but keep your left leg nice and long. And feel the left sit bone trying to draw up towards the sky, and you'll get a deeper stretch down the back of the leg. Switch it. Soften the left knee, straighten the right leg. Feel that right sit bone really draw up towards the sky to deepen the stretch. And then just give yourself a little pedal of the legs for a second. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, and then we'll walk it in, and we're gonna roll up. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move my chair to the side, but you might want to keep it nearby because we're going to do some squats and some curtsy squats, and you might want to use it as like a bar, a ballet bar or something to help keep you balanced. So we're going to do some curtsy squats, but we're going to start with a regular squat. So start with your feet about shoulder distance or so. We're going to soften both knees, bow from the hips, and we really want to send our tailbone back so our knees stay over the arches of our feet. A lot of times I'll see knees jutting forward. So think about that whole foot staying rooted. We've got our big toe, pinky toe, and heel, and we're really sitting back into those hips. Nice, and then we're gonna rise back up to the top, 2 straight legs at the top. So bow from the hips first, reach back, bend the knees, come down, and then rise all the way up. And when you get to the top, try to open up the front of the hips there. Good, so everyone feels a little different in their squat. Everyone's hips are designed a little differently. You might feel more comfortable in a little bit of a turnout or nice and parallel. And you can honestly just choose what feels good for you here. And we're gonna do a couple more. Nice, now we're gonna go into a little curtsy. So we're gonna come nice and low, and I'm gonna take my left foot and I'm gonna sweep it back behind my right. And with this curtsy, you wanna really try to angle your hips, kind of twist them forward. Inner thighs are drawing towards each other, and we'll sink a little deeper. So then we're really feeling that outer hip and thigh. Then we're gonna try to stay low and come back into our center squat. And then we're gonna sweep our right foot back, rotate the hips, deepen into that squat. Now, if this is too aggressive for you to stay low, feel free to come up between each one. Okay, but if you're up for it, keeping the hips really turned on, we're gonna stay low and down. Good, down and down. And we're just going side to side. Keep that low belly lifted. Think about those ribs staying lifted. If you let your belly hang, you kind of let your ribs flare out, all that tension is going into your low back, right? So really keep strong in the core to help protect the low back here. Woo! Getting that heart rate going a little bit. All right, next time we take it left foot back, we're gonna hold. Rotate your hips, lift your spine up, send your arms up to the sky, and give me the tiniest little dip here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it low, hit it center. Little dips. 8, 7, I'm getting a little winded here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the right leg back, lift the spine, square the hips, arms up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Awesome, guys. Whew, nice little warm up. We're gonna take it down to the ground to a 4-point kneel position. And in this position, we're going to find our hands a little bit wider than our shoulders today, but in alignment with your shoulders, so not too far out in front of you. And then bring your knees under your hips and maybe a little more center. Whew, that really got me winded. So, and then from here, we're gonna just stay really nice and long through the spine. So again, feel those ribs really lift, and we're gonna soften both elbows and lower them down to a hover. Good. Wrap the elbows in. Feel those triceps really lighting up. Now imprint your palm to lengthen back up to the top. So elbows soften, we're lowering straight down. Notice I'm not sitting back into my hips. I'm softening both elbows, lowering down to a hover, and then back up. Good. Now honestly, I'm just doing this as a little pre-game. We're actually going to be moving our left leg as well. So we're going to bring our elbows down to a low hover to keep those triceps turned on. If this is too aggressive, rest all the way down onto your forearms. But if you're up for the added challenge, keep the elbows hovering. From here, hug up the ribs, and now extend your left leg nice and long behind you. Already those triceps are turning on a lot. Now with the strength of that glute, we're gonna float the left leg up to about hip height. And now we're gonna arc it back so it taps down to the right side of the mat. And then we'll come back up through center, focusing on length. So we go down to the right and up to center. And I'll do it from this angle so you can see it a little bit better. We're going down to the right and up through center. Yeah, do that a few more times. And if the triceps are burning too much, either stick with it or put them all the way down on the ground, right? So you can have those two options. Nice, let's do it a few more here. Really focusing on length here. For 5, and 4, and 3, 2, and hold it. Think about lengthening long. Hold right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee back in. Awesome. Now I'm going to turn to stay on my right, to stay working on my left side. My right leg is going to come down, and my right arm is going to come out. And then extend the left leg nice and long. You can reach this right arm out a little bit. Focus on this right shoulder. We don't want to be dumped into the shoulder. So hold here. From here, we're going to do a little side flexion. So I'm going to send my left arm long and lift my left leg up. And now I'm going to rotate my left leg up to bring it in and bring my left elbow in to meet it. I don't need to touch it. They're just coming in through center, and then stretch it back long. So I've got rotate in and out. So this knee is spiraling up, and then back out. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last one, then just reach it long, stretch, and let's come all the way down. Now we're gonna lie all the way down onto our side, reaching that right arm long and letting our right ear rest onto our shoulder. Knees are bent, feet are in alignment with your tailbone. And then from here, it's real easy to just dump everything into the ground, but we wanna really keep finding our core connection. So imagine that top left hip is getting pulled out and your bottom ribs are lifting up and through that top hip. So we're not dumping into the ground, but really stretching out of it. From here, float both feet up about 6 inches. And now we're gonna really rotate in the hip. So rotate in the hip and then lower back down. The pelvis is quiet and we're really feeling the turn of that femur head. Now, I know this can seem super easy, but if you're really aligned here and then you're really focusing on moving from the most internal part of that hip, going slow, and then really, when you get to the top, really hold it there. Feel the muscles turn on and then lower back down. That's where you're gonna find the work. So it's not just up and down. Don't even think about the knee. Really focus on this thigh bone at the very, very top of the thigh bone and the rotation happening there. Good. Keep drawing that navel in and up and keep trying to find length through that top hip. It's super easy to rest in this position here, so keep it yourself really active. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and then hold the next one open, and then from the very top, little rotations like a little butterfly at the very top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Nice. Let's roll onto our back for a bridge position. So feet are gonna be about hip distance apart. Arms are gonna come down long by the side and really imprint into the ground. From here, we're gonna start really small to get some nice transverse activation. First, I want you to really imprint your whole foot. Feel the big toe, the pinky toe, the heel. Imagine you have a yoga block between your inner thighs so your legs aren't falling out to the side. You're really imprinting into the big toe, so you're getting that internal inner thigh connection. And then your hips are pointing straight up to the sky. Your low back might be lifted when you're in neutral. And from that position, gently imagine you're sliding your feet away from you and float your hips just the tiniest bit, maybe an inch or so, or think about the back of your pants still grazing the ground. And just feel that deep abdominal work as you float up, and then take it back down. So there's a lot of work here in the center, in your transverse, as you gently float up and take it down. So it's really, really small. Good, arms are strong and imprinting into the ground. Nice. And now we're gonna come all the way up. So start to lift the same way. Send your hips up, reach your knees long, and really get those glutes to turn on at the top. And now we're gonna roll ourselves down. So start at your heart. Start to let your heart melt. Really curl down. See if you can get each vertebrae to come back down onto the floor, nice and slow. And then at the bottom, return back into your neutral, yeah? So we go up, up, send the knees long, really turn on those glutes. And now we're gonna articulate through the spine as we roll down and send it back out. So take the hips straight up, knees are long, back of the legs are turned on, and roll it down. Nice. 2 more times. Send it up, roll it down, and the last one, we'll send it up, we'll hold it at the top, and then we're just gonna really softly crease at the front of our hips and then send it back up. So tiny little lifts and lowers right here. Really turning on the backs of the legs. Keep pressing those feet away from you. 8 more. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Lengthen your spine down. Good. Quick little send up to the sky. Reach to the back of your thighs. Just give your ankles a little roll out. And then go the other way. And just give those hamstrings a little stretch. All right, we're gonna flip to the other side of our clam. So we're gonna lie down on our left side. Right hip is now on top. We can rest onto our left arm, bicep. Stack your hips, feet in alignment with your tailbone, knees about 45 degrees. Take this top hip, reach it long, float your feet about 6 inches, and then we're rotating inside the right hip now. Ribs are lifted. And we'll focus on that inhale as we float the leg up. And the inhale helps our spine stay nice and long and stable. And the exhale as we return it back down. Good, when you get to the top, really hold it. Rotate it even more at the top. Get that muscle to turn on. Good, hold the next one at the top. Really tiny little rotations. Think about it like a little butterfly. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Now we're gonna come up into our side flexion here. So left arm is out, we're on our left knee. Right leg's gonna reach long. We're gonna send the right arm long. Float the right leg up. We rotate the right inner thigh up as we bring it in. Right elbow comes in, and then we stretch it long. We go in, length, in, long. Good. You can do this on all the way down on your side as well. If it's too aggressive to be up on your left hand, stay lifted out of this left shoulder. Good. 4, reach. 3, stretch. 2, last one. Give it a nice reach and come down. Woo. All right, back to 4-point kneel. Coming into this 4-point kneel position. Hands a little wider. Shoulder distance, knees under your hips, and you can opt to come halfway down to the hover or all the way down onto your forearms. Okay, I'm gonna start in my hover. I might have to go all the way down once I start working here. So without allowing your hips to move at all, extend your right leg long and then float it up, hold right there, focus on lengthening here. Take it down, tap it to the left, bring it back up through center. Good, what's happening in your heart? Is your heart feeling lifted? Wrap your elbows towards each other. Focus on length as we send it out. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, bring it in, and come up to your 4-point kneel. Awesome, guys. Let's finish standing, or our final exercise we're gonna do standing. And I haven't forgot, it's still Happy Hold It days, so we are gonna hold our plie today. So take your feet a little wider than shoulders, softly turned out. We don't wanna overdo our turnout, so just keep it soft. Standing tall, and let's soften both knees. Feel those inner thighs spiral up. Knees reach over the big toe, second toe. Good. Now, whole foot is planted. Big toe, pinky toe, heel. Get it down. And then lifting up on the inhale. Exhale, we take it down. Inhale, we rise up. Nice. Next time, we're gonna hold this one. So now we're staying in the hold. Legs are active, inner thighs are spiraling up. your whole foot feels rooted. Let's take the arms out. We're gonna go over to the right. Take a nice little side bend here. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale up through center. And let's keep going side to side. Exhale to the right. Inhale center. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Good. One more time each side. And over. Awesome. We're still in that hold. Bring your hands to center in a prayer and actively press your palms together. So now we're getting the chest and the pecs and the biceps. We're getting some activation there as well. And now we're gonna rotate. So on an inhale, pick both of your ribs up, rotate to the left. If you have it in you, see if you can gently peel your right heel up just to the ball of your foot. We don't wanna go all the way to that high arch. Just to the ball of the foot. And then imprint it back down as you come center. Rotate the ribs to the right, peel the left heel up just to the ball of the foot. Exhale, imprint through center. Let's keep that going. Keep those arms pressing into each other, shoulder blades sinking down. Good. Can we go a little lower? Rotate it around. Good, one more time each side. Hold it center. Let's extend the arms out. Rotate the palms up, soften the elbows. Feel that nice opening across the chest. If you have it in you, can you peel your right heel up just the softest bit, and then the left heel to meet it. All 10 toes imprinting, the ball of the foot is really pressing into the ground. And then we're gonna come a little bit deeper and hold. I'm shaking. Shoulders are relaxed. We're sending energy into the ground. Maybe a little deeper if you can. Nice and tall. Can we hold for 10 more seconds here? You can go a little deeper if you want. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down. Come all the way up. I'm happy to announce it is now time to stretch it out. So let's bring ourselves down to the mat, and this is where I'm gonna bring my blanket into play. So let's start down on our knees, and we're gonna be doing in yoga, they call it pigeon, but it's a nice little hip stretch here. So we're gonna take our left shin out in front, and for some of us, it might be really aggressive to keep it parallel to the front of the mat, so feel free to tuck that leg in a little bit closer. Get your knee down and then walk your right leg back. And then I'm not so flexible here, so I have some space, I'm floating here. That's where I'm going to pat it with my pillow or blanket. Nice, and then from this position, instead of just relaxing into it, let's really think about this left inner thigh spiraling up and drawing back as the right hip tries to draw forward. So feel that little push-pull in the hips, and you'll feel a deeper little stretch there. Good, let's bend the elbows, come down and up a few times. Nice, and then we're gonna walk it over to the left and take a stretch here. And then walk it over to the right. Now, if this stretch isn't right for you, feel free to roll on your back and do a figure 4 stretch. Just the important part is that we're stretching into the hip. Good, come back through center and come down into your most relaxed pose. Maybe elbows come down, maybe your head comes all the way down, whatever feels right for you. Let's just take a couple of soft breaths here. Good, now walk your hands back towards you, and we'll go ahead and come up. Maybe you wanna give that leg a little stretch out, and we'll go to the other side. So let's take the right shin forward. Feel free to tuck the leg in. Find if you need to bolster your hip, feel free to bolster your hip. Send your left leg long. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. Let's come down and up a few times. And then let's walk to one side. Oh. And then the other. Come back through center and maybe find your resting point here. Try to keep breathing in and out of the nose, and every exhale is passive, so you can sink a little deeper on that exhale. Good. All right, gently walk those hands back in. Come on out of that position, maybe stretch that leg long. And then let's just finish with our arms up overhead, taking an inhale in, and then exhale, slowly press it out. And that's it for today.